Chalo. So look over here. I think we completed till over here, isn't it? Like till turning point, how to find the turning point and all, and what happens when there is a turning point. Okay. Like we talked about instantaneous speed. We talked about average speed and how to find average speed in different cases. How to find instantaneous speed in different cases. We learned that, and then we told how to find the instantaneous speed, how to calculate it, and last we talked about what happens if xt is given and there is a turning point. Are you able to get me on? Now, the last part of the formula, which is very important to understand, like in questions, if xt is given to you, if x of t is given properly, means x of t means position of particle dependent on time. Dependent on time is given. That means still we can find average speed. And see, instantaneous speed, we know the formula, how to calculate. If xt is given, then first part, instantaneous speed, I know. Use the formula dx by dt. Got it or not? But if I talk about average speed, then you know that first point is very clear. To find average speed, we know definitely one thing, that here from out of this, we know that there is a turning point. So remember always, whenever you get x of t and when you are trying to find average speed, it will automatically come by integration. But the point is you should remember of that particular point where there is a turning point. So if xt is given, how to find xt, how to find average speed? The first part is find velocity dependent on time, which is nothing but dx by dt. Second, put velocity dependent on time equal to 0 and find a turning point and find the turning point. If you can find the turning point, then you know your t, which is capital T, which is a turning point. T of t we should write. This means t of t means what? Time of turning. Are you able to get me or not? Then the average speed formula is given as, it is equal to modulus of integration 0 to t of turning point v of t dt. इंटीग्रेशन किसका लेना है? वेलोसिटी का, v of t dt मतलब तिवारी ऐसे उठी और एकदम आ गई, प्लस मॉडुलस ऑफ टर्निंग पॉइंट टू total time which is given to you, velocity of t dt, फिर से लोगे, ओके, मॉडुलस पे बंद करोगे एंड डिवाइड करोगे टोटल टाइम के साथ. Are you able to get me or not? So this is the formula of average speed. This is the formula of what? Average speed when turning point is given. Is that clear or not, guys? Are you able to get me? क्लियर है? ठीक है, तो एक क्वेश्चन अपन पकड़ेंगे, एक सिंपल ट्रैक पकड़ेंगे, ओके, where we'll find all these kind of things. Right on. Like let's suppose question is, if position of particle depends on time as x of t is equal to t cube, no, not t, let's take t square minus 2t plus 3. Same. Word on meters. Then find first question, position of particle at t is equal to 0, comma t is equal to 1 second. Got it? Displacement between t is equal to 0 to t is equal to 1 second. Third, instantaneous speed between instantaneous speed at t is equal to 0 and t is equal to 1 second. And last, average speed between t is equal to 0 to t is equal to 2 seconds. Do it. Do it fast. 4 questions I have given. 4 questions will clear your mind how to handle the questions. Okay. Try to do it. 1 minute. Yes. क्या आंसर है बोलो. हाँ वो टर्निंग पॉइंट का क्वेश्चन है, फिक्स टर्निंग पॉइंट का वो क्वेश्चन. नहीं नहीं नहीं, तब नहीं क्यों, क्योंकि उसमें वेलोसिटी जब निकालोगे तो सारे क्वांटिटीज पॉजिटिव है ना. मैंने क्या बोला था, वेरिएबल्स के बीच में अगर नेगेटिव साइन आ जाए तो ये याद रखो कि वो टर्निंग पॉइंट का क्वेश्चन. ठीक है. हाँ 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 हाँ, मतलब जो भी वेरिएबल्स वाला जो टर्म है ना, उसमें अगर इक्वेशन आ जाए माइनस घुस गया तो उसका मतलब है कि कहीं ना कहीं टी की वैल्यू 0 होने वाली है. अगर माइनस टी स्क्वायर माइनस 2t+3 है तब भी 0 हो सकता है ना किसी टाइम पर. ओके. ठीक है, तो मतलब तुम्हें देखना होगा कि किस इक्वेशन में टाइम 0 हो जाए. लेकिन अगर हम सिर्फ ले माइनस टी स्क्वायर माइनस 2t, आई थिंक वो कभी भी 0 नहीं होगा, उसमें वेलोसिटी हरदम नेगेटिव फैक्टर में जाएगी. तो वो वाला भी इक्वेशन क्या बोल सकते हैं कि टर्निंग पॉइंट नहीं हो सकता है. बट अगर एक पॉजिटिव है एक नेगेटिव है, ऐसा ऐसा कुछ टर्म है, एक कॉम्बिनेशन है जिसके थ्रू तुम्हें लग रहा है कि वो 0 पहुंच जाए, तो वो जरूर टर्निंग पॉइंट का क्वेश्चन है. ठीक है. I think first part is clear. First part it is asking position of the particle at t is equal to 0 and t is equal to 1 second. तो क्या करोगे? 3 meters and 2 meters. Perfect. So what I will do, I'll just replace the values, isn't it? Position of particle x at t is equal to 0. If I replace, it is all the quantities are 0, so then it is 3 meters. X at t is equal to 1. Others, जग रहे हो ना तुम लोग? ओजस्विनी, प्रणवी, रक्षा, सॉरी सौम्या, जग रहे हो ना? नींद तो नहीं है? अच्छा. हाँ हाँ हाँ. So x at t is equal to 1. 1 square minus 2 into 1 plus 3. तो आई थिंक क्या होगा, 4 मीटर्स हो जाएगा ना, 2 मीटर्स होगा, माइनस 2 प्लस 1, यस, सो इट इज 2 मीटर्स, सो 3 मीटर्स एंड 2 मीटर्स. सेकेंड पूछ रहा है डिस्प्लेसमेंट, बताओ दोनों क्या होगा. Displacement minus 1 meter. Perfect. Displacement between. So if I write t is equal to 0 or t is equal to 1, this is means it is t initial and this is t final. So displacement is what? Nothing but position at t final minus position at t initial. Can you imagine it? No, how to what I am doing? Basically, if you look into the graph of this, so this is the graph, okay, and this is some position coordinate at t is equal to 0. This is some position coordinate at t is equal to 1. And if I join by a straight line between these 2 points, this is displacement. So displacement is what? This position minus this position. Are you able to get me or not? Clear? Okay, so basically your answer is what? Position at t final minus position at t initial is 2 meters minus 3, which is minus 1 meters. Are you able to get me? Talk about instantaneous speed.
इंस्टेंटेनियस स्पीड t 0 पे
हाँ,
-2 meters per second और like t 1 second पे 0.
0 मीटर पर सेकेंड देखते हैं. सो इंस्टेंटेनियस स्पीड का फॉर्मूला क्या होगा, dx by dt होगा. सो दिस इज d by dt ऑफ x. x क्या है, t स्क्वायर माइनस 2t प्लस 3. तो आई थिंक ये आएगा 2t minus 2, isn't it? So instantaneous speed at t is equal to 1 second. जिसमें कॉपी लेके नहीं खोल के बैठी है, जिसमें बस देख रही है सर, हम कुछ नहीं बोलेंगे. -2 मीटर कर रही हो तो कहा नहीं आंसर बोल रही हो. Instantaneous speed at t is equal to 1 is how much? 2 into 1 minus 2, which is very good, 0 meter per second. So देखो, we got one idea now, where is my velocity 0. So can I term that t is equal to 1 is nothing but my turning point? Tell me yes or no. Yeah. Can I term that it is a turning point? Because here the velocity goes 0, isn't it? Yes or no, everyone? Okay. So at t is equal to 1, as it is a turning point, if I ask you average speed, then equation will be modulus integral 0 to 1 second, because I'm trying to calculate from 0 to 2 seconds. So 0 to 1 second, position velocity which is 2t minus 2. This was the equation, no? Velocity dt, vt dt. Got it or not? So this is what? 2t minus 2 dt modulus close. Again, modulus integral 1 to 2 second 2t minus 2 dt modulus close divided by total time, which is 2 minus 0. Are you able to get me or not? So if you solve this, what you will going to get? Modulus 0 to 1 2t dt, 2 outside, 0 to 1 t dt minus 2 outside, 0 to 1 just dt modulus close plus, once again you will get same thing, 1 to 2 2 outside t dt minus 2 outside 1 to 2 dt modulus close divided by 2 minus 0. Can you solve it? Try to solve it. Tell me the answer. minus 1 meter per second. Okay. So this is what I'll get. Modulus 2. This will be t square by 2, isn't it? So t square by 2. 0 to 1, isn't it? Minus 2 t 0 to 1 modulus close plus 2 once again t square by 2 1 to 2 minus 2 t 1 to 2. हाँ tell me क्या क्या गलत है हाँ ओके तेरा गलत है ना मैं सोचा मैं गलत हूँ ठीक एंड दिस इज 2 तो इसको सॉल्व करो 2 2 कैंसिल हो जाएगा ये आएगा 1 फर्स्ट टर्म हो गया 1 माइनस ये हो गया 2 2 हो जाएगा ना बट ये मॉडुलस के अंदर है ओके प्लस देन modulus 2 to cancel 4 minus 1 square that is 4 minus 1 ये हो गया minus 2 फिर से minus 2 ठीक है टोटल डिवाइड बाय 2 तो ये क्या हो गया -1 तो ये प्लस हो जाएगा अच्छा रक्षा तुमने बोला था ना -1 नहीं सौम्य हाँ सौम्य -1 नहीं जाएगा देख मॉडुलस क्या है मॉडुलस हर नेगेटिव क्वांटिटी को पॉजिटिव कर डालता है तो -1 होगा ही नहीं तो ये 1 minus 2 का हो गया 1 प्लस 4 minus 1 3 3 minus 2 कितना हो गया 1 1 plus 1 divided by 2 which is 1 meter per second. Everyone, is this clear or not? Hmm. समझ में आया प्रणवी मैथवी are you guys here? Is this clear? Raksha, is this clear or not? मतलब हो गया ना कि मतलब दिक्कत आया अच्छा तुमने करा नहीं था अभी इंटीग्रेशन समझ में आया ठीक है so see my point is try to solve it guys don't take tension regarding that it will automatically get clear after slowly it will get clear it will take some time to clear okay go ahead on so you got to know that how to find if vt is given if xt is given and how to calculate it like average speed instantaneous speed displacement position everything can be calculated go ahead on the point is next part is like if vt is itself given means if velocity dependent on time is given so see what is the point here xt was given so you calculated vt and then turning point and then all this step if vt is directly given then no need of any differentiation you can do directly step apply first step apply the first step find the turning point okay then apply the second step that let's suppose you got t is equal to capital T at the t is my turning point and remember that always remember that at turning point what happens the velocity of the particle is always zero right on so how to find the turning point we'll put the vt equal to 0 and then you will find the turning point are you able to get me or not so average speed once again the same formula directly modulus integral 0 to time of turning point vt dt modulus close plus integral modulus open time of turning point to total time vt dt modulus close divided by total time means total time minus 0. So you'll consider t. Right on. But although it is t final minus t initial, are you able to get me or not? Is it clear? So we got to know what happens if the velocity xt is given. We can find the average velocity, average speed, and everything in the average speed, instantaneous speed, displacement, and position with a very easy way. Right or not? Yes. Everyone clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us start our new topic today, and that is, uh, and we call it basically. Let us write first of all velocity. So we know that velocity is a vector quantity first of all. Okay, and once again it is nothing but displacement by time taken. So if you remember your previous class, guys, then see that for this blue line, displace C speed, average speed is defined. But for this red line, which is the shortest path between any 2 points P and Q, for this what is defined? Our displacement is defined. Yes, and for this only the velocity is defined. Are you able to get me or not? So look over here, as you can see that displacement velocity is always calculated over displacement, isn't it? Are you able to get me? And this is displacement is nothing but the shortest path or a straight line between initial and final. Is this clear or not? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now let us imagine, like, let's suppose a particle goes like this way. Let us imagine that the particle goes like this way. Sorry, 1 minute. In this curve x, like this is x. Okay, uh, and basically let us write that this is xy plane and it's going over here. Okay, now you might think that, sir, if it is going like this way, then how to define velocity between any 2 points? So let's suppose I got this position. Let us write xt. Not first, we should learn in one dimension only. Okay, so let's suppose this is x of t initial, and this is x of t final. Can you hear me, guys? Is this clear? So you can see that for this x of t initial and x of t final, can I draw one position vector over here or not? This will be what? Position vector for t initial, and this is position vector for t final. So when you will draw the displacement vector is always this line, which is delta r vector, isn't it? So since it is a vector quantity, remember, as displacement is a vector quantity, all this velocity also becomes which quantity? Vector. Are you able to get me? And then in reality, the velocity formula vector is given as delta r vector by delta t. Are you able to get me or not? Delta r vector means, if I conclude that if it is moving in all the three possible directions, then it is r vector at t final minus position vector at t initial divided by t final minus t initial. Are you able to get me or not? Clear?
Yes, sir.
So you should, it means, it's, see, my point is very very clear that you just take the directions. You just consider the direction. Are you able to get me or not? If you include the direction, then it is not a big issue. Okay. Now, as we moved ahead, we know that once again this will be divided. The velocity will be of two types. First one is called as average velocity, and second one is called as instantaneous velocity. Let us finish these all things fast, and then like I completed some parts in JE and some part in NEET, motion in gravity and all, isn't it? But like the point is, in these classes, I'll pick up really good questions also, and one day I'll give you one question of a very tough book, which is Pathfinder Physics. Only one question I'll give you, and we'll discuss sometime all those questions because that book will really open your mind like hell. Okay, and see what is happening in KCC. I know that like तुम लोग के क्लास में ओजस्विनी अनिस का आई थिंक एक ही दिन में मोशन इन 2D का पूरा वो कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर करवाया गया था, है ना? क्या क्या क्या?
सर बुक रहता है बुक।
हाँ हाँ, बुक का नाम पाथ फाइंडर फिजिक्स। ओके, बट ये तुम्हें परचेज उर्चेज नहीं करना है, मैं पीडीएफ भेज दूंगा, उसके एक एक क्वेश्चन मैं करवाऊंगा, टेंशन ना लो। ओके, और जिसमें नहीं तुम लोग आई थिंक मोशन इन 1 2D एक ही दिन में खत्म किया गया था ना? ठीक है, तो देखो दिक्कत क्या है वहां पे, वही होगा कि वो लोग बहुत तेजी से कंप्लीट अप करने की कोशिश करेंगे, और बहुत चीजें बीच बीच की जो इम्पोर्टेंट चीजें हैं, जो इम्पोर्टेंट चीजें हैं उसको थोड़ा मिस करने की कोशिश करेंगे। तो अपन क्या करेंगे, विल प्रणवी, there used to be one more girl with you who used to solve the questions of uh, क्या था वो, डीसी पांडे, वो कहाँ है? उसको भी ऐड करना। ओके, टेल हर टू गेट एडेड ऑल एवरी डे। ओके, सो हाँ, so point is very clear that we will do all these things, and projectile relative part I will really show you how the things happen. I have all the PPTs over here. I'll show you how the things happen, word or not, and I'll tell you how the things actually happen in projectile motion and all. Okay, ठीक है? So be ready for it. Learn these things clearly. But between that, I'll give you only one question every day, where you have to just think in the lunch time, whenever you have the free time. Do not take it as a homework. Do not think like the DPPs I'll provide that you should do, but these things you should remember. Okay. So what I will do, should I start the kinematics DPP from beginning once again? See, I have a folder of. I'll tell you. I'll show you my NIT foundation kinematics. How many DPPs are there? Total 36 DPPs are there. Got it? So should I start from beginning, or is that's why I was asking one day. Please tell me how many DPPs you guys have solved from
सर 21 तक हो गया है।
1 to 21 हो गया है।
हाँ 21 हो गया
अ, अरे नहीं, मैंने बीच का नहीं दिया, बीच का नहीं दिया था सर। हाँ हाँ हाँ, 21 22 दिया था, 21 22 23 के आसपास दिया था। एंड 1 2 कौन कौन सा दिया था? मुझे ये शुरुआत का बता दो, या फिर एक काम करता हूँ, आई शेयर द डीबीपी 1 2 3 4 5 6। ओके, 5 तक आई शेयर and check it whether you have done or not. Then 6 onwards I'll share one DPP every day. Okay, with the solution, with the proper answer. Then we can discuss that next day. That's why I was asking. So 1 to 5 every day. Like today we'll share 1 to 5 to try to see, and then I'll share from 6 onwards. Is that clear?
सर आपके पास जेई वाले ईपीपीस है?
हाँ हाँ, जेई वाला तो और गजब की डीबीपीज है भाई, तुम देखो, तुमको हम दिखा रहे
सर
हैं।
भेज देना सर।
अरे तुम लोग टेंशन ना लो, जेई के फाउंडेशन की डीबीपीज देखो, काइनामेटिक्स, इसमें भी कितने हैं? अच्छा, इसमें 26 तक ही है। ठीक है,
सर नीट में आपने ईपीपीस 7 तक दिया है।
नीट में डीबीपी 7 तक दिया है।
उसके बाद आपने 21।
ओके, तो एक काम करते हैं, 5 तक शेयर करता
उसके
हूँ।
बाद फिर
ओके ओके, तो एक काम करते हैं, 7 तक एक बार शेयर कर देता हूँ आज। ओके, एंड देन टुमारो ऑनवर्ड्स 8 से स्टार्ट कर देंगे। इज दैट फाइन?
यस सर।
ओके, एंड फॉर J, J, first you solve these, okay? Then I have best thing for you guys. I have many things, man. I see that there is a book, all these institute books over here. But for JEE, I will solve this VMC module questions. Okay, like we are studying kinematics now. DST 1 to 5, they are level 1. DST 6, 7, 8, they are level 2. GST 9 and 10, they are level 3 and 4. Word or not. So I'll give you these DPPs also. But for JEE mainly, I'll share it. Okay. But right now, you solve all those DPPs which I will provide such that your basics will get clear first. Word or not. ठीक है चलेगा चलो तो let us complete this average velocity part and instantaneous velocity part. Now today mainly the average velocity and instantaneous velocity I want to talk in a graphical way. Word or not. Like this is some position coordinate x or y, we can say position r I'm saying, and this is time t. Means the particle chooses a curve first from here to here. Word or not. Then it goes like this way. Or let us select that it is discontinuous curve. Got it. So this is A, means origin O. This is point A, and this is point B. Now here many people will think that, sir, if I want to find, as we know that average velocity formula, if I write average velocity, so since velocity is a vector quantity, so V average is written with the arrow, it is called as average velocity. So it is once again total displacement by total time. Now, here total displacement means people will think, sir, let us draw this displacement first and let us draw this displacement first. Then you add this R1 delta R1 and then you add delta R2 and divide by total time. I know that this will be done by Ujaswani always. Ujaswani ऐसे ही बनाती है ना question? तो उसने क्या किया, उसने दोनों कर्व में डिसकंटिन्यूटी था तो दोनों का डिस्प्लेसमेंट निकाला और ऐड करके लिख दिया टोटल टाइम टी डिवाइड बाय टोटल टाइम टी वन एंड टी। बट ये सफा क्या है, ये गलत है, दिस इज टोटली रॉन्ग वर्ड और because displacement itself means that first take the initial point then take the final point. It does not mean whether you are turning here and there or not. So look over here, see, let's suppose if I turned over here also, no problem. Point is, this is my initial point and this is my final point. So what I will do, I'll draw directly a line from initial to final. This is my displacement vector. I'll not add those delta r1 and delta r2. Yes, if I, as I know for point A, I know the coordinate. This is delta r1. For this, I know delta r2. But you can't do intermediate additions. Are you able to get me or not? If you know this vector form, then only you can do. Otherwise, you will never be able to do. So you can write, see, you can see that delta r triangle means delta r vector can be utilized to do, or you can utilize this idea of using what we say triangles law to find this delta r. But we should be aware of this AB, we can say we should be aware of this AB particularly, AB vector. Are you able to get me? मेरी बातें तुम्हें समझ में आ रही है कि नहीं आ रही? क्लियर हुआ कि सर अगर कर्व है और कर्व में डिसकंटिन्यूटी टर्निंग है, डिसकंटिन्यूटी है, तो भी हम ऐसा नहीं करेंगे कि हम इस मींस आई नॉट ऐड दिस फ्रॉम 0 टू a and then I'll add a to b and then I'll add a total time t1 by t2. It's not like that. First, always displacement means a line between initial and final point. Whether you have a discontinuity or not, that it does not care. But yes, definitely, like delta r can be written as OA plus AB vector in the form of triangles law, which can be written by t1 by t2. Are you able to get me or not? Is this clear? So if this path T1 was known and if this path T2 was known, so total displacement is nothing but my OB vector divided by T1 plus T2. But what is OB vector? OB vector is nothing but OA vector plus AB vector divided by T1 plus T2. So you should write in vector form, not in terms of a scalar form, because they have a different directions. Are you able to get me? But always average velocity is this delta r. Means ultimately average velocity is nothing but it is also similar to my velocity vector only, because velocity vector was also talking about initial point and final point and finding the displacement gap between initial and final. Is this clear for everyone or not? Tell me, guys. Okay. ओजस्विनी समझ में आया? सौम्या, रक्षा, प्रणवी, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now,
Sir, delta आपको तो अलग फॉर्मूला होता है ना?
del, del हाँ,
तो जैसे मान लो AB को हम लोग
हम्म,
डिस्प्लेसमेंट वेक्टर मान लेते हैं,
हाँ,
तो इसमें ये वो नहीं हो जाएगा,
तो हाँ,
OA
अगर 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 तुम्हें ए बी निकालना है, तो इसीलिए बोला ना कि अगर तुम्हें ए बी निकालना है तो तुम्हें फिर से वो फॉर्मूला लगाना पड़ेगा। क्या लगाना पड़ेगा? इट विल यू विल हैव टू राइट ओ बी वेक्टर माइनस ओ ए वेक्टर, गॉट इट और नॉट? और ओ ए को सिर्फ ओ ए वेक्टर लिखना पड़ेगा। आर एबल टू गेट मी और नॉट?
हाँ
तो अल्टीमेटली सी ए बी वेक्टर, इफ आई राइट ए बी वेक्टर इज इक्वल टू ओ बी वेक्टर minus OA vector, isn't it? And here you have plus OA or not. So look over here, divide by T1 plus T2. So ultimately this will get cancelled and ultimately I'm getting same formula or not, OB vector by T1 plus T2, which is this formula already. Are you able to get me? Which is the total displacement. Are you able to get me? Means there is no, means this, what is the meaning of this? The vector form is trying to say you that sir, there is a no idea, there is no concept of total displacement. Displacement is only the word, only displacement is there. There is nothing called as total displacement, that you will not write r1 displacement plus r2 displacement plus r3 displacement. Displacement is itself for last word which I will use between any two random points. Are you able to get me or not? Whether it is means whether it is a, whether continuity is there or not, whether discontinuity is there or not. Displacement is our last word which I will use between any two points, and that is always a straight line. Are you able to get whatever you do? Ultimately, you'll end up on that straight line, whichever vector form you use. Are you able to get me? This is it wants to say. Right or not? Clear? Okay. Now let's talk about instantaneous velocity. Once again, like the velocity of particle present at that instant of time is called instantaneous not this. One more T will not be there. Instantaneous velocity. Now see, if the particle is only going in one direction for motion in 1D, okay, so instantaneous velocity in vector form is it simple, either dx by dt or dy by dt, because it is moving in one direction. No idea of direction will come. In one D means only one direction or not. So what to use as direction? It's of no use. Are you able to get me? But what if the particle moves in two dimensions or three dimensions? We have to maximally study for two dimension or three dimension, isn't it? So for motion in 2D, that means there are two directions at the same instant of time. Are you able to get me or not, Balaks? So then I'll have to use the position vector form to find the position of any particle. It will be given like xi cap plus yj cap, which can be dependent on time. Is this clear for everyone?
yes
So then the instantaneous velocity is given as differentiation of means dr vector by dt, which can be written in terms of two dimension or three dimension. So if it is two dimension, it will be written as dx by dt I cap plus dy by dt j cap. Are you able to get me or not? So see, earlier when I talked about instantaneous speed, uh, then I just talk in one direction form, isn't it? If it is two dimension or three dimension, like here, look over here. Like here I took only one direction, dx by dt. It can be written as dy by dt if I talk about y-axis movement. It can be also written as dz by dt if I consider z-axis movement. Are you able to get me or not? But when I'm talking about vector form, then I know that we can consider it in all three dimensions, and therefore the position vector will be written xi cap plus yj cap plus zk cap and something like that. Is that clear or not? So now let us conclude the meaning of instantaneous velocity. That let's suppose this is the position vector of particle varying with time t, and particle is moving like this. Got it? So let us conclude all those points. So if this is A to B, basically it will follow some position vector equation R of t. Are you able to get me or not? See, if I replace the time variables, I will get the position coordinates like R of t1 here, R of t2 over here, or t3 over here. Can you understand or not? Got it? These are my position coordinates with the different time intervals. Now, if I consider this whole path AB, then I talk about that as a distance. If I talk about only R1, R2, R3, R of T1, comma R of T2, comma R of T3, basically they are not distance or displacement, they are the position. Are you able to get me or not? Distance is my whole path AB. Displacement is my, let's suppose if I talk about path from A to B, so displacement, or let's suppose if I talk about any two time intervals, then what you will do, you will draw some, you know that what you will draw. You will draw a position vector connecting RT1, RT3, and then displacement is this straight line present as, or you can say path, shortest path between any 2 points. Guys, is I am clear, guys, or not? Tell me yes or no, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Understood. Next thing. So this is my displacement, which is written as delta. I'm talking about RT2, so it will be written as R vector of T3 because it is a vector quantity minus R vector of T1. If I so like that. Next point is very clear that if I talk about speed, so speed is defined for this path, curvical path, right or not? While velocity will be defined for this path. Is that clear? Speed, velocity, we got speed is total path by total time, or distance by total time, distance traveled between any 2 points, while velocity is simple displacement by time, means delta R by delta t. Right or not? The thing is, second thing, average speed. So average speed means total path, once again, A to B total path or any 2 points path, total path by total time. So for this only, what will be defined? Average speed. For this only, what will be defined? Average velocity. Can you clear? Is this clear, guys? Last.
Yes, sir.
So I'm making you understand through the graphical way in a perfect way. You should understand this in a very good way, okay? Because this is only the things. Means, can we say that velocity and average velocity is almost same? Average speed and speed cannot be same because speed, I do not know from which part to which part I'm calculating speed and which part to which part I'm calculating average speed. But if the time interval is same and the path length is same, then the average speed is similar to speed. Are you able to get me or not? Is it clear? Now, when I talk about instantaneous speed and instantaneous velocity, they are totally different things, as I told you earlier. So, instantaneous speed is simply either dx by dt or dy by dt or dz by dt if the particle is moving in all three directions. Got it or not? Means I'm trying to find it in every direction. So, it is just like finding these points. Defining instantaneous speed or instantaneous velocity means defining the speed at these smallest interval of times. Are you able to get me? Okay. Now, what is instantaneous velocity? Same thing. If for this dx by dt, if I can define the direction of the velocity, then it is called as what thing? Instantaneous velocity. Like over here, if I want to define the direction, I'll draw the tangential line or not. If I want to define the direction, these tangential lines shows the directions of instantaneous velocity. So look over here, what we can show that it is dr by dt. So can you say one thing that sir, as I can define instantaneous speed in a very small time interval, means these positions are very small. We do not know the real idea what is this positions. Similarly, instantaneous velocity is there. In this time interval, I am defining very small position. So can you say that one thing that sir, instantaneous speed and instantaneous velocity in magnitude wise or in the words of magnitude they are same, because both are defined for the infinitesimal time interval where no, we do not know what positions they are traveling. Can you understand or not? Is this clear, guys? That instantaneous speed and instantaneous velocity, in terms of magnitude, they are similar terms. They are nothing different. They are always talking about an unknown displacement done in an infinitesimal time interval, which we need to follow. Which we, for that, it means that we need definitely to do the differentiation to find the answers. Are you able to get me? Everyone, this word, this statement you got to know or not? Instantaneous speed and instantaneous velocity, what in what way they are same? In magnitude, because both of them are defined for infinitesimal time, which you do not, means where you do not know what is this dx, what is this dy. You definitely need to do only differentiation to find out the real answer. Okay, so remember that instantaneous speed is exactly equal to magnitude of instantaneous velocity. Because in instantaneous velocity just one thing happens, the direction is added. Here here also instantaneous speed is defined, but with the arrow, if I tell about it is the instantaneous velocity, means just dr by dt is exactly equal to modulus of dr vector by modulus, mean magnitude of dr by dt is equal to modulus of dr vector by dt. This is called as meaning of instantaneous speed and instantaneous velocity. Is this things are clear or not? So we got to know a lot to it, like how to find average speed from the position and all, and how to define all these things, how to define velocity vector, how to find, how to understand average velocity and instantaneous velocity, and what is the real meaning of all these terms which we discuss right now. So I think I made everything clear that how to understand these concepts, isn't it?
Sir, average velocity or velocity same thing?
Average velocity and velocity is definitely same, because right now you just find out that when I find out total displacement, it is exactly equal to ob vector, isn't it? So instantaneous velocity and average velocity is also same. Sorry, average velocity and velocity is also same, because displacement only means the line gap between initial point and final point. There is nothing called as what the total displacement. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this was all the conclusions. Tomorrow we will see. Tomorrow I think we'll have an evening class, okay, and we'll sit and we'll complete some more questions related to this. Just questions, and then we can move to acceleration and graphical analysis. Word or not? Is that clear?